Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is once again directed by Steven Spielberg with a story created by George Lucas. This sequel tells the story of Indiana Jones traveling to old Shanghai, and where he meets a club dancer named Willie Scott and is on the ride with Short Round, a kid who he found on the street. These three characters go to old Shanghai to uncover the Sankara Stone. Now, if you've seen my review for Raiders of the Lost Ark, you would know that I absolutely, unabashedly adore this movie. And I really thought that this movie could not be topped. And rewatching the sequel, yeah, it's nowhere near as close. But I gotta say, still, I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but I am one of those people that are in the boat of really enjoying the hell out of Temple of Doom. I think it is a really fun adventure film, and while narratively it isn't as great of a follow-up since it is more its own thing, that's probably due to it being a kind of prequel to the original film. I still think this movie does a whole lot right to justify its existence. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is still fantastic. He still delivers, and his chemistry with all these actors are really, really good, especially with Short Round. Their relationship here is really explored and well, and you could tell that they had a sense of history with one another, and that they do care for one another. They have like an unbreakable friendship. Obviously, Short Round doesn't appear in the other movies, but they still feel like people that have known each other for a long time. Even though it's probably not that long of a time since Short Round's a kid, but you get the gist. As with Willie, if you could tolerate her screaming, she's a fine character, but she's no Marion. She's just there, usually along for the ride, and for Indiana Jones to save, or to save Indy himself. But they do kind of form a sweet relationship, but I am more invested in the relationship with Marion and Indy more so than with these two characters. The adventure they go to itself is still really fun. And there's a lot of scenarios in which it does feel like Indiana Jones could get hurt or possibly die. And he escapes by the skin of his teeth. And I gotta say, it's even more brutal than the first. And back then, that was kind of a problem. This, and I believe Batman Returns, if I remember correctly, really scared parents, and Gremlins too. These three movies really scared parents back then because they were like marketed as for kids, but once they saw the actual movie, it is more violent than they thought, which led to Steven Spielberg suggesting the creation of the PG-13 rating. So this is like one of those films that had us get that rating, and we're able to like understand more what our children should watch. So in a way, this film is really important in that regard. Maybe not as important for the series, but in terms of like filmmaking, it played a significant role in that regard. But the direction by Steven Spielberg here is absolutely excellent. I gotta say, the cave chase in those carts is done very, very well. I never think that they are in like sets or anything fake. It was intense. It was lit perfectly. The violent moments, like the leader of this cult grabbing the heart out of another guy, I thought that was violent but so fucking awesome. There's just so much stuff to love here. It's just a fun adventure film with one of our favorite heroes once again. Maybe narratively it isn't as great of a sequel. That would have to go to The Last Crusade. But in terms of being a Indiana Jones standalone serialized film, I gotta say, this movie did a really good job for what it's aiming to do. And to me, while I do love Indiana Jones as a trilogy, it was originally meant to be like a serialized group of films, so continuity or following up from the last film wasn't as important. You could tell that was the case here. This is put to be like its own standalone thing with one of our favorite action heroes. And in that sense, to me at least, I very much appreciate it for what it is. The action is fun, directing is fun, everything about this movie is a whole lot of fun. The characters, most of the time, are fun. Indiana Jones is once again led by a great lead performance. The music is fantastic. John Williams just always knocks it out of the park. And honestly, I could find very little wrong, even nitpicking, because there really isn't that much to nitpick. The only stuff I really didn't like were the Willie character, and maybe some attempts of humor did not land for me, but this is still a pretty funny movie. I just don't think it is as tight as Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think to me that is a better film and overall best of the Indiana Jones movies. But this is still nonetheless a really fun Indiana Jones movie. I'm going to give Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.